you've been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down, sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 in sympathy.
Even though, where's Kenny gone? He's disappeared. No, he's gone. Kenny came back.
Right, yeah.
What happened there, right? Evening, everyone. It's great to have this amazing panel back on again, as always. We're going to talk about England. We're going to talk about Arsenal. We're going to talk about transfers with West Ham as well, with Tony. Kenny, great to see you, bro. Been a while. We've all missed you. You're back again, and we're going to talk football, bro. Tony, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, Jez. Thanks for letting me come onto your show, especially with all these Arsenal people in the chat as well as on the panel. So it's a privilege to be with you. But yeah, I'm all good, mate. All good. Enjoying the weather for a change.
As I say, yeah. I mean, it's been pretty crap over here lately. Matty, how are you doing, my man?
Doing good, man. I can get my nights back now that the Copa America just about done. I'm sitting up every night to 2, 3 in the morning. It take a toll on you. So I was glad to be able to get 8 full hours of sleep last night. So, but it's glad to be back. Kenny, good to see you, brother. And let's talk football, man.
Yeah.
Or the lack thereof, depending on how you want to talk.
Yeah,
about it.
It's great to be back talking about football. It's going to be an interesting show tonight, that's for sure. Kenny, welcome back, mate. You've been away for a while, and I haven't said anything, but it's great to see you back, bro.
It's good to be back because I'm not going to go into it a lot, but all I can say is that it's been a very difficult time for the family, absolutely difficult time, and there's been life-changing circumstances. So the best way to recover from the life-changing circumstances is, be amongst people you like, who like you, people who care about you, and the people you care about. And that's why it's actually brilliant to be back. And today is actually the right time. Because, one of the things you need when things are not going right is distractions. And the European Championship, the Copa America, has been fantastic. There has been much swell of Arsenal news because I always predicted that, coaches of all the national associations, especially will participate in the Copa America and the European Championships. Under no circumstances are they going to allow their players to conduct any kind of transfer news. For instance, Portugal are out of the Euros. Look what's happened. Paulinho has now announced that he's joining Germany. So I think maybe business may be done. And then you're probably going to get announcements on Monday, what's today's the 11th. So you're going to get probably information coming in about the Arsenal on the 15th of July. But saying that, there were times during the Euros where everything you guys said about international football, especially England, I thought, you know what, they got a point, because England stank the place out. I mean, they played the most boringest football ever, yet they're in a final. We'll talk about it. We'll go through it, but under no circumstances must you give Gareth Southgate any credit. Look at the opposition. Look at the fact that they've been poor. The only time he's going to get his, his sweets or his Blue Peter badges if we beat Spain. If we beat Spain, then who knows? But we must never forget Italy at home. Never forget or forgive.
True, absolute facts. Big up, Sunshine. Good to see you, Lee. Good to have you back, mate. Good to see you. And great show you did that bingo thing. That is something special. I will. If you're playing it again a bit later, I will join in and give it a go. I don't think I'll do very well on it. But how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. Big up to Matty, Kenny, and Tone. Come on, that's how we're rolling. And big up the chat. Make sure you smash the likes up. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to having an early night's sleep, Jez.
Yes.
Because these Copa America games are killing me. Like literally, I got in bed at about 7:30 this morning, and like I've slept all day. Literally, I've missed all day. Yeah, and now it's just winding down. Sun's still shining, but obviously I'm working again. So yeah, it's nice to actually have a few days of normality back, and I can't wait for these tournaments to end because they've both been trash.
I mean, let's talk about that, right? You know me, I'm not an England fan. I'm not an international football fan. It bores me to death. But I have been watching it. Yeah, I've done watch-alongs with the Yeti and all that sort of stuff. But I have to be honest, there was one game, England game, I actually fell asleep. It was so poor. And I thought, this is like pulling teeth. What am I actually watching this for? You know, I could be watching something far more else entertaining. But, hey, look, England have shithoused their way to the Euros final against Spain. I don't know how. Great goal from Ollie Watkins last night. You can't deny it. Can't deny it. But, man, come on. Tony, it's not been entertaining, has it?
Not at all. Not at all. I think yesterday was probably the best performance they've done in the whole of the competition. But other than that, yeah, they've been absolutely trash. There's no two ways about it. And I think if you look at it, you know, if you look at it, I mean, no doubt the chat will say the same thing, and you guys in the panel. Was that a penalty? The Harry Kane thing?
Hold that. Hold that.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to that. Right. Hold that point just for now. Okay, because I'm going to give you my perspective on being an ex-referee. I'll give you my opinion on that. Matty, mate, you've been watching two tournaments: Copa America, United States of America, were absolute drivel. Let's put it right. Yeah, you sacked your manager, and you're now after Klopp.
We ain't getting no Klopp.
But it's out there, man. It's out there that you're after Klopp.
I would take Klopp, but that's just nah. But I'm gonna echo what Tone just said. I've watched, as you just stated, I've watched two tournaments. I get garbage in the afternoon and I get garbage at night. It was just absolutely some of the worst football. I would text Lee and randomly say, "Are you watching this? Are you are you looking at what I'm looking at? This is absolute garbage. Some of the worst football I have ever seen. I've seen last night. It was just the passion is what carried that game last night. If you watched the Uruguay game, it was the bust ups that made that. But for the most part, man, it's just been absolutely horrific, man. And me for one. I would like to see England win because, of course, I've never seen England win anything. But for footballing's sake, Spain has to win this game on Sunday because if they don't win, everybody's gonna start copying what England has done, and it's gonna be more of the same, And it's just been bad, Me and Lee watched Brazil the other night, and that was just some of the, absolute worst. That's the worst Brazil team I have ever laid my eyes on. And you would think that, even with South American teams, you would get something out, at least, a little bit of quality, but it's just horrific. United States, that United States wasn't winning nothing this year. You got Canada is in the semifinal. That just about tells you all you need to know, man. So I think 2 weeks, we got the Olympics coming up. I'm actually looking forward to that, to watch the youngsters. And so, I'm just going to just sit back and enjoy that. So hopefully the youngsters can show the adults how it's done.
Yeah, fact. Lee, you've been madness, you have. You've been streaming like 14 hours a day. I don't know your stamina. Seriously, man. But England, it's not been pretty, has it? Let's be honest.
It's been trash. Let's just be real with it. These players are overpaid, overhyped by the online fans and by the mainstream media. Jude Bellingham drops an absolute stinker, and everyone goes, "Oh, but he played well. He played well." You know what? Because he scored the goal. Like Bukayo Saka, I thought he was trash. I can't lie. I thought he was rubbish. Yeah, what did he do? I didn't even know he was on the pitch in the second half until I see him at right back. Yeah, and then I was like, "Why is that's Saka?" And then he scored and it was offside. Yeah, I thought Declan Rice was awful yesterday, and has been all the way through this tournament, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought Foden had his best game for a long time in an England shirt, and then we hooked him off. Made no sense. But listen, if England end up winning it, nobody will remember all of this.
No.
Yeah, like we've all grown up on seeing Arsenal stinking 1-0 to the Arsenal every week. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but it didn't matter because we won stuff. But like, I'm with Matty. Like, I obviously live out here, and I've never seen them win anything whilst I've lived here. My missus has, and she said the place goes crazy. So I'm like, and I love good football, and that ain't good football. Like real talk. I've predicted Spain before the tournament started, and I'm sticking with it. I think they're going to slap England. I can't lie. I think they'll just play them off the park. And the thing with England is, like I said, these players are so overrated. It is crazy. They literally have no technical ability whatsoever. Yeah, and the manager, he looks like a genius when he brings Ollie Watkins off the bench yesterday, and it's worked a few times. But at the same time, this guy is trash, mate. Yeah, this manager is rubbish. And that performance yesterday overshadowed the fact that Jude Bellingham had one of his worst performances of all time. Declan Rice also. Yeah, Bukayo Saka I thought was poor. And Harry Kane, sorry, mate, what we're doing? Oh, but he's the joint top scorer. And what? He's been rubbish. Yeah, he's been absolutely awful. And the thing is, if you look at how we've got to the final, look at the teams we've played.
Slovenia.
Do you know what I'm saying? Slovenia, Slovakia, Denmark.
The Gooner.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying, mate? Yeah, now go and have a look on the other side of the draw where Spain have played. They've played Croatia, Italy, Germany, France. Do you know what I mean? Albania. Okay, that may be the Albania one you can take out, but that'd be like a Slovenia, for example. They've had to play some decent teams. Yeah, and they've bopped them off the park. They're slapping us, mate. Trust me, they're going to slap us. And the thing is, I'd love England to win it. I'm English. But I'll be honest with you, I'm with Matty. If that lot win it, if England win it, we're never going to hear the end of it. Yeah, because now the media will hype it up and these are the greatest players ever. English football is the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, the players that get the big swagger about them even more so than they've got. The English fans that sit, or the fans of English clubs that sit online chatting shit about footballers, you know, with their footballer profile pictures, will be, oh my, yeah, but my baller's got a Euros. What's your baller got? Fuck all that. Spain need to win.
You know, for me,
they need to win.
You know, when I watch England, Kenny, Lee, Jez, y'all appreciate this. It's like watching Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's just like watching Arsenal. What they'll think out a last minute win and everybody goes crazy. And when you know that you're delaying the inevitable, that's what's probably coming this Sunday is the inevitable. You know, we've seen this. We lived this. We lived this a whole season.
No.
So
even the style of play, that game yesterday perfectly encapsulates the Premier League. And that the amount of players from both of them teams yesterday, that Holland and England, well, I don't even know. It wasn't yesterday, was it? It was the when was it? It was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am, mate. Yeah, but both of them teams, if you count how many players are in the squads that have been or played in the Premier League or play in the Premier League, we got a Premier League game yesterday. Slow, sideways, walking bullshit football. Yeah, and the majority of them players that actually played yesterday or came off the bench yesterday have played in the Prem or play in the Prem. And it's just robotic. When you watch Spain, most of the players playing Spain, they're just popping the ball around. They're playing football. That is football. Yeah, that's what I want to see, isn't it? Yeah, like if England win it, great, fantastic. I'll be over the moon. I've never seen England win anything. My dad was 8 when they won the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I like good football, mate. And if people, I don't give a shit. I'll be sitting in my Spain shirt doing that watch along. Yeah, and people are going, oh, you're English. You're here. Shut up, mate. I'll do what I want. Yeah, and I like good football. And if England win, I'll celebrate. If Spain win, I'll celebrate. So it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, well, fair enough.
True.
Kenny Kent, I mean, I've got to blame you on this one, mate. You got me into watching international football at the World Cup 2 years ago, and basically I thought, I'm going to watch this. Normally I wouldn't bother because I just don't. It doesn't float my boat, and it still hasn't floated my boat. But they've got the way to a final, mate. How can you see it? How's it going to go? And I can honestly see him.
Well, first and foremost, I get what you said about the tournament, but I think first of all, I have been Team Spain since last year because I actually tipped them to win the last Euros, and I was stunned that that Spain didn't beat Italy in that semi-final in 2020. But this year, I still had Spain because what Spain have done is that they've actually got in my opinion, they got a cutting edge back. They got their cutting edge where it's not just passing everyone to sleep. They've now got players like Lamau direct. They've got Williams direct. Both of those two had group to tournaments. But then you've got Fabian Ruiz, very underrated player, but he is hard to knock off the ball. You had Pedri, who got taken out by Cruz. Now you've got Olmo. Olmo has got really quick feet, so that's 4 match winners. And then you've got Rodri, who everyone's rated about, but it gives them that kind of balance. So if you look at that team, they've got 5 match winners within that team that are going to play on Sunday, and that's why I have some big fears for England because they're going to deal real pace on both sides. But what they're also going to deal with the quick feet of, I'll tell you one thing: England are going to need some runners. They're going to need some runners. I'll definitely. Southgate won't change it, but there's going to be a lot of things required for Jude Bellingham. Is Jude Bellingham going to actually put his country first, or is he going to treat it like the Jude Bellingham show? Because I'll tell you one thing now, he's going to have to sacrifice his game for the team because he's going to have to pick up the runs of the quick feet of Fabian Ruiz. He's got to sacrifice it. He can't sleep with Mainu and leave with Declan Rice. You've got to help those two out. You've got to also be very careful with the quick feet of Olmo. So that means Gay's been England's best player. He's going to need a bit from John Stones. John Stones has been hiding behind Gay, and he was hiding in Switzerland when he hit it with Konsa. John Stones needs to step it up now. Definitely got to step up. Kyle Walker can't be messing around now. Don't care how quick you are. If you start making those little mistakes, Williams do you. And the same with the problem with playing with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's is good going up, but I could see him playing Trippier because of Lamau. And I haven't even mentioned Rodri because Rodri just doesn't hold. He starts off their moods as well. So there's going to be a lot of things where England have to use the sacrifices. You're not going to see much flair, but when England do get the flair, that's where you're going to need Saka to, when he gets into that area, he needs to get the first time pass. But if Harry Kane isn't going to get in behind Spain defence or hold, don't play him. Play Tony, who can hold the ball. And if you want to, because the problem with playing Ollie Watkins, if you keep on trying to play the ball out of the top and Spain cut it out and cut that off, it's a waste of time playing him. You play him in the second half. So he's got decisions to make. But I'll tell you one thing, right? The reason why you're not seeing good football in the Copa America and you're not seeing good football in the Euros, I blame 3 people. Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and Mikel Arteta. And I'll add Jurgen Klopp to that because the reason why you see two-touch football and pressing football, gegenpressing, is because they've killed the individuality and the skill out of players. Guardiola is a criminal, a footballing criminal. He's a criminal. Because you think, let me tell you something. I beg you now, Yamal, right? Under no circumstances must you let Guardiola, Arteta, Klopp, or Mourinho near this kid because they will kill the individuality out of this kid.
True.
And what you'll see is a player who's not going to be worried about doing that, having that je ne sais quoi. Look what these coaches did to Joey Cole. You should know that, Tone. Joey Cole.
Yeah.
He had individual flair, got coached out of him.
Yeah.
Look what they've done. Look what they've done to players like Sterling. Look what Jack Grealish. Look what Pep's done a really good job with Jack Grealish, isn't it? Don't know if he's coming or going. The individuality out of Jack Grealish, has been coached out of him. Because with Pep, you've got to press, you've got to run off the ball, and you've got to have 2 touches. So you can't hold on the ball too long because Pep will shout at you. You can't shoot from about 40 from long distance because they're worried about giving the ball back to the opposition. They're all about controlling the play and controlling possession, which means by controlling the play and carrying possession, you can't do a long pass, a ground pass. You can't take on 2 men in case the opposition get the ball, and that's paramount with those managers. Now, everyone, don't get me wrong, their success, you can't argue with the success that these managers have had or the fact that these managers are challenged for big trophies. But if you want to see individual football, forget it, mate. Forget it, mate. The only players going to be able to survive is and probably a Messi, Ronaldo, and probably Mbappe. But that's it. The up-and-coming player now, Jesus Christ, that's probably why you need Spain to win this tournament. You need Spain because playing football that way, where there's individual ability of players like Ferran Torres and individual player of Olmo and of course Yamal, you probably need Spain to win it. But as Englishmen, we need England to win it because guess what? If England win it, that means that what happens, they'll have that mindset going in tournaments where they could have the same success as Germany. But you won't get a great football, but you'll get a machine. And I think that's where English football's at. Southgate himself, if England win, it'd be inspired Southgate. He's got a conveyor belt of talent coming through for years. And it's all you need is the right manager to get out of these players. He's lucky with his subs. People are going to think, oh, you made a good decision to leave out Grealish, great decision and leave out Rashford. Not really. Players like Walton, Maynard, all these players coming through. And there's going to be players coming through after that as well. So don't give Southgate his flowers. Give him a night off by all means. But, he's an average manager. And what are going to do? The money, they're going to give it to Lee Carsley, who's going to be another FA man. But for the good of football, Spain have to win this. But I want England to win because I'm an Englishman of Nigerian extraction and I love the national side. But I wouldn't lose any sleep if Spain win it because football, the future of football, especially its attacking flair, football with panache, needs Spain to win it. But Guardiola, he'll go down one of the greatest coaches, but that'd be a myth. He's a talent killer.
Criminal.
Football.
He's a footballing
Talent killer. And if you don't believe me, look at the bodies. Look at the trail of corpses he's left behind. Trust me. The trails of corpses that man is left behind. Jurgen Klopp's is part of it. And let's see what. Let's you think about the fair players that Arteta's killed and got out of the club. Those guys are fucking criminals. Praise them all you like, but if you want football to see skillful football and players of panache, you ain't seeing them as long as these men are involved. I'd say it. And one thing more, Ralph Rednick, up yours as well, because you're the biggest criminal ever. I'm glad Austria got knocked out by Turkey.
Kenny's not holding back the firing machines.
No, Kenny won't come and chose violence today, man. He said,
I mean it. I genuinely mean it. Guardiola is an enemy of flair football and flair players. He's and you know what? It's not me saying it. Bielsa said it, and he's Guardiola's his disciple.
Yeah.
Fact. Okay, mate. I'm just going to do a couple of super chats, mate. That's coming here. Sorry. What's going on? It's all got a bit tits up now. So there we go. Yep. bit out of touch doing this. Oregon Gooner, mate. Vino fun, mate. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. You're a top fella, man. Always, always, always. Arsenal first. Thank you for the key ring, Jez. No worries, man. Pleasure, absolute pleasure. Hope it's you've got it and you're using it. Northside. I want to come to you. This is something interesting, I think. Right. Last night, penalty. Right. Now, this is my perspective as an ex-referee. Right. Kane's penalty, the foul. To me, that was never a penalty. Kane kicked the Dutch player. Right. I just think that was a soft penalty. And I can understand why the Holland players were upset after the game. Because at the end of the day, all the Dutch player did was have his foot up, studs. The reason they gave that penalty, he showed his studs. Right. Sorry, he didn't make contact with Kane. Kane made contact with him. What's your view, mate?
Big up to the whole panel, first and foremost. Love Jess for having me on. Big up to everybody that's part of the panel. Big up to the boys. I think it is a penalty. From what I saw, I only saw it within the game. I saw the replay once. And from what I saw, Kane went to strike the ball. Yes, the defender has the right to put in a challenge, but he was late. For me, I felt like he was late and he caught Kane. And because he caught Kane and he was late, it's the same as when a player is running into the box and cuts in on his left or cuts in on his right, and the defender puts his leg out, which he has the right to. But if you're late, that's a foul because you haven't won the ball. The defender never won the ball. Otherwise, it would have been deflected back the other way. So because he didn't win the ball, but he caught Kane, Kane is already halfway through kicking the ball. He can't stop him. The momentum of already striking the ball, he's not going to pull his foot back. So both players are in there right, but it's down to the defender to get the challenge right on time. And I don't think he was on time. I think he missed it and caught Kane. And for that reason, that's why I felt like it was a penalty, because he didn't catch the ball. If he caught the ball and he deflected it, I would say, cool, fair enough, because the defender does have the right to defend his box and defend, his team. But at the same time, if you catch it wrong, then to me, I think it's a penalty. Anywhere else on the pitch, I think it's also given as a foul. So a foul in the box is just a foul anywhere else on the pitch. That's why I think it's a penalty.
Fair enough, man. I'm going to come to Tony on this. Before we do that, thank you, mate. AK4 Pete for the super chat. Big up, Jez Pedal. Have a good day. Be up to you, my friend. Hope you're well. So at the moment in the chat, most people are agreeing with me, Northside. So not sure.
I'm in the mud.
In the mud. Tony, you're currently involved with football, right? You work with a football team, right? You know the laws of football and how the laws have changed. Was that a penalty, mate?
No, not at all. I think the only reason why I say it's why it went for a penalty is because of the way Kane's reaction, the way he's gone down on the deck, the way he's rolled out, holding his hand out. That's only made VAR look at it. Other than that, at the end of the day, Northside, I understand what you're saying. The ball could have been deflected elsewhere, but at the same point, when you think about it, at that point, the defender's leg's already there because Kane's kicked into him. So that, for me, that's the reason why I'd say it's not a penalty.
Matty, you're a ex-football coach, mate. If you were the manager, coach in that game, right? Yeah. Would you say that was a penalty?
I would probably be all right. I felt like the defender's leg was a little high, but Kane, like you said, Kane went into him. That for me, if that happens in a group stage game, does that get called?
Yeah, Jess.
Does that get called in a group stage game? Does that get called in a friendly? Does that get called? I don't think it does. I think it's a 50-50, honestly. And I just think the referee just caught up in the moment. As Tone stated, he hit the ground, wailing. I mean, you heard him wailing on TV. So of course, we're gonna draw all the attention that we can to it to try to get the VAR because they didn't have, you could have just came out and said, no need to listen to it. It just could have kept going. But instead, it got to VAR. And, of course, we all know what happened. But for me, I feel like the defender was just doing his job. Like I said, you kind of see it was a little high there. But, I mean, I didn't see a strong case for malicious intent, if you want to say that. I didn't see him coming in to bring pain. So I just felt like he was just coming in. And, he had his leg up and Kane went to kick and he kicked through him. And then, of course, this is what happened. So,
fact. Yeah. Okay. At the moment, I think most people are going with me, and they should, because I'm an ex-referee and I know what I'm talking about. So everybody else, you're wrong. Joseph Goner Golden, thank you, mate, for your super chat. Big up, panel plus. Great to see you back, Kenny. There you go, Kenny. I'm coming to you on this one. Was that a penalty?
Kane's reaction. If Kane didn't go down, I don't think anyone would have, noticed that that there was an infringement. We would have thought about it because all we are talking about is Kane's, hit it from a rebound. He's hit it over the bar, just a bit like what he did in a game against Slovakia. So we didn't really think about it. But the minute I saw him go down, I said, right, I want to have a look at it. And then I still don't think it was a penalty because I've never seen him give it before. But I think we have set precedents before. Where I think if you look at, I think there was a similar situation with Chelsea and Tottenham, where the challenge was made after he received the ball. I think it was the two Argentines on each other, where under normal circumstances that is no way is it power. It was just two people, Romero going for the ball, and he's leaving his foot in, but on these new guidelines, it's deemed as dangerous play. And that's where I thought, Dumfries is in a bit of trouble. The minute Dumfries ball, Kane's foot got collided, doesn't matter whether he still got his shot off or not. I think because the studs are up and they're thinking about dangerous play, I thought, you know what? Didn't matter what, that Kristen Uncle said on the ITV. She was adamant it wasn't a penalty. But I thought, you know what? I think they're going to overrule you because the minute I saw contact, doesn't matter even if Kane got his shot off or not. I think when the referee just says foot up, the first thing I thought, right, he's going to give a penalty, he's going to give him a yellow card. And that's exactly what happened. Personally, the rules are asked because had that happened with England, we would be all up in arms and saying this is disgrace. That's not a penalty. And we'll be justified in their selection. I think the reason why the Dutch have got every right to be up in arms because after England got that penalty, they took control of the football match. That first half, they could have been 2 or 3-1 up. And that all stemmed from the fact they equalised and the Dutch heads went down because of the injustice. So it did change the game. But if you're English, you think about Maradona, 86, David Beckham getting sent off when Simeone with a dying swan act. Lampard, off the crossbar in Bloemfontein against Germany in 2010. There's loads of instances where England could have been gone down. So I think it evens itself out. But what I would say, it weren't a penalty, but let's face it, if I was a Dutch and I looked at that performance in the second half, if you had a bit of cutting edge, England were there for the taking. So you got yourself to blame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that been Spain with that amount of possession and the amount of pressing, they would have mullered England. You let England back in that game. So take your defeat like a man. And let's not forget Ronald Koeman in '93 in Rotterdam when you should have been off the pitch, Ronald, and when play went through. So revenge is a dish best served cold.
It's a sweet thing, mate. Lee, was that a penalty?
I'm with Northside. I think it's.
I knew you would be. I knew.
Yeah, I think it's a pen. I'll tell you why I think it's a pen. Similar reason, right? That defender's clumsy as hell anyway, and he was lucky he never got sent off in the previous game. Yeah, he was extremely lucky to stay on that pitch at Denzel Dumfries in the game before. Yeah, very, very lucky. Yeah, he's always out of position. In that instance, he's trying to cover and get in with the centre back and trying to block the shot. But for me, he can see that he's taking the shot. Sorry, I've just got Mikel Arteta mosquito for me. Get out of here. He can see that Kane's about to take the shot, so instantly, he wants to try and block it. The problem is Kane's already on the he's swung his foot back and he's going on the forward drive through to the ball. So at that point, you just have to pull out, and he had time to do that. Instead, he's gone with his studs up. Yeah, yes, he hasn't made massive contact with him, but anywhere else on the football pitch, if you go with your studs up, it's a foul and a yellow card. Yeah, and if you've got time because you can see what's happening in front of you, and you can see that I know they've only got a split second, but as an experienced defender representing his nation and has played hundreds of games, he still has that time to just pull his leg out, and then Kane looks like he's dived then, doesn't he? Which he would have done. Yeah, then Kane would have been booked for diving. However, he kept his leg there. He didn't go right in like that, but he kept his leg there, just a little one. And Kane, obviously, the follow through. But with that going both, I can see why people don't think it's a pen. But for me, that defender's clumsy as hell, mate. Yeah, and if you've got your studs up, you're asking for trouble in the penalty box. And he should know that. He's an experienced defender. But Harry Kane's well entitled to take a shot. Well, just because the defender's got his foot up doesn't mean Kane can't take the shot. Yeah, we see one. Who was it, man? Was it Chelsea? No, it was Romero. It was Romero against Chelsea. Do you remember that one on Enzo? Was it Enzo? Was it Romero this season? Yeah, that was a penalty for me. And that's similar. It wasn't identical, but that was very similar, and that was a penalty. Both you could say are harsh, but if that's outside the box, they're both fouls and yellow cards.
Yeah.
So how many times do we see all over the pitch as well, right? Like a player barely gets touched, goes down, he's rolling around, holding his face, holding his knee, holding his foot, and then you look at it and it's the slightest little contact and the ref books him. So it's like, for me, at least he was consistent. He was consistently shit all day through that, ref. But for me, I thought I was a pen. And let's be real, if it was the other way round, most fans would be kicking off going mad that it was given. However, I would have said the same thing. It's a pen.
No, you're all wrong.
Jez ain't having it.
Apparently,
Jez is going to get the yellow cards out in a minute. He's going to book us all.
One of us always agree. We always agree, apparently. We always agree on everything.
That's what the street says.
No, because people, Northside, people say to me, right, I always agree with Lee. That's, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy,
there you go. That Romero one on Enzo, we got a red card for that.
There you go. Big up, Budgie. Good to see you back, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you. I know you've got over your cancer thing, bro. Big up to see. Good to see you. Big up to see you, man. Right, I'm going to ask this one. Right, okay. This is it's not controversial, but Tone, would you start Watkins on Sunday? Start him? Got to start him, haven't you?
No, I think I have him more as an impact sub. I'd start with Tony. I think Kenny said that as well. I think he'd more hold up play. Kane, I mean, Lee said obviously, he's entitled to have a shot. I think if you look at it, we was all glad to see him have a shot because he hasn't done it in the whole of the competition. So it makes a change to actually see him do something. But really, Tony would be the ideal, man to hold the ball up.
Fair enough. That's a good segue, actually, because that's the next player I'm going to talk about. Matty, would you start Watkins?
Ivan Toney for me. I don't. Talking to Lee the other day, I said, why? I think we talked last weekend or whatever, and I said, why is Ivan Toney not starting the team? And he was like, yeah, Southgate's not going to start him because he's locked into Kane. And I just some of the substitutions and some of his decisions have been just. It's the lucky that he must have come into some kind of luck or got some kind of voodoo done before the tournament because he is just the amount of luck I have seen him get these last few weeks has been amazing. He needs to do a seminar on this, on how to get out of the fire at the last second. He just needs to do a week-long seminar on how people to just get out of trouble because, I mean, his decision, it makes you wonder. But for me, Ivan Toney would be the man starting. I know people in the chat are going to have a go at me, but it's just the real deal, man. Y'all know how I feel about Ivan Toney. So.
Fair enough. Northside, what do you think, mate? Would you start Watkins or? Well, Tony seems to be the popular opinion.
I would start Tony because I feel like his overall game is better and he'll bring in the wingers into the game. The problem with Kane, we haven't seen, you know what he did under Mourinho when he was bringing in Son into the game and bringing other players into the game. He no longer has the legs to do that, where I actually think Ivan Toney still has the legs and the ability to bring the best out of the team, not only about himself. So I feel like I'd go for him, but Ollie Watkins isn't bad. I mean, maybe Ollie Watkins suits how England should play, because I think it was it Georgia that played Spain and had a load of chances on the counter-attack but didn't have the quality to bury them. England need to play counter-attacking football the same way Arsenal play against Man City. Absorb pressure, sit back, let them have all the possession, let Spain hit it around. As soon as you get the ball, because they play a high line, as soon as you get the ball, one route football, and England have the talent to put it away. You've got Saka, you've got Foden, you've got multiple players that can put the ball in the back of the net. You've got Tony, you've got Watkins. So maybe on the counter-attack, maybe Watkins is a better option. He plays well when you're playing the through ball in behind the defenders. Maybe he suits that. But I'd rather Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney, if he's got two defenders around him, he's still got the vision to play Saka through or to play Foden through. You know, he's a very good player, and I think he's a better all-rounded player than somebody like Ollie Watkins. And yet, I still feel like, in terms of finishing, I feel like he's a bit better. Plus, Ivan Toney can also take free kicks, and I just think he's a better player than Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins is a good player, but I think use Ollie Watkins as an impact sub. It worked in the last game. Use him as an impact sub. If Tony's not getting a goal, bring Ollie Watkins in for the last 20 minutes. And then start playing through balls into him, because we've seen this before. He didn't score before, but we've seen him before get in behind defenders. Tired legs, I think Ollie Watkins is a problem. So that's what I would do. They need to take a leaf out of the book of Georgia. I said this to Lee when we spoke, and Lee said, oh, Spain won. And I said, listen, Georgia, if they had a bit more talent, that was sticky for Spain. What saved them is the fact that Georgia don't have the talent up front. Their striker, he gets in good positions, but he's not clinical enough. Where England actually have the strikers and the ability in the front three to put them to bed. So I think that's the approach England should have. Start Tony. If Tony doesn't score a goal, then get Ollie Watkins in and play counter-attacking football. One route football. And it will beat the Spain team, because they were opened up quite a few times against Georgia. People think, because Spain are great, and I'm not taking anything away from Spain. If they were up against a better opposition, they may have lost that game.
Fact. Let's change the subject now. I'm a bit bored with England, to be honest. Well, I'm very bored with England.
Hey, you're going to be bored with Arsenal too.
Let's move this over. What guys, Lee? I want to start with you on this one. Right. What is the fascination with Arsenal wanting to continually buy bloody goalkeepers? I mean, this embarrassing offer to Wolverhampton Wanderers for Dave Bentley, 50k. I mean, what is going on? I mean, this is Wenger era, isn't it? This is Suarez, 40 million plus £1.
Don't worry, Jez, it gets better, because exclusive 36 minutes ago, Arsenal submit first proposal to Ajax for 18-year-old goalkeeper Tommy Setford.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, man.
What is it? What is this?
He's an England under-20 goalkeeper who's just about 6 foot tall. Okay, this is going well, guys. I think the fascination is the fact that he can't admit that he fucked up by getting rid of Emi Martinez. Yeah, that's what it is. And Emi Martinez, after Ederson and Alisson, you can put them two in either order, whichever one's your preference, but they're the best two in the league. I'd say Emi Martinez is the third best keeper after them. Yeah, and I just don't think that he can accept that he's messed that up. And look at the money we sold him for as well. 16, 17 mil, was it?
Nothing.
It was so cheap. It was crazy. Yeah, and then since then, we've done money on Ramsdale. We've done money on Raya. We've done money on Runnison. We've bought Matt Ryan or loaned back. Yeah, we did buy Matt Ryan, didn't we? Either way, we've had him at the club. Yeah, who was the other one we had? There's another one. There was one more.
Runnison, Matt Ryan.
Matt
Ryan-
Ryan,
Ryan-
Turner. Look how many goalkeepers. Now add up how much money that is, right? And then you look at that Ronison deal. We paid 1 million for Ronison. Yeah, that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. But now add in 30 grand a week. Why are we paying somebody 30 grand a week off a 1 million deal? That should be 3 grand a week. Yeah, the math ain't mathing with that one. Then we loaned him out twice. He couldn't even get a game at Cardiff. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Yeah, this goalkeeper, I think he's played 7 games in the last 2 years.
No.
Yeah, I think he's only played about 7 games in the last 2 years.
That sounds about like Ronson.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, mate. And the thing for me is like I'm looking at it and I'm just like, why don't you just go and buy a proper goalkeeper? Go and buy a proper goalkeeper. Go and buy somebody that looks intimidating in the goal. Yeah, makes the goal look small. Yeah. Whereas with our goalkeepers, I like Raya. I think he's all right. He ain't a well beater. He ain't a well beater, and the goal don't look that small when he's in it. Yeah. Whereas when Emi Martinez is standing in it, it looks tiny, doesn't it? Yeah. When Alisson's standing in goal, it looks tiny. Yeah. Oblak's in goal, it looks tiny. So I don't know, man. This football club jars me all the time. Like, why are we going after a centre back? That was supposed to have been done on Tuesday, by the way. They said 48 hours. Yeah. And now apparently we're 10 million under the asking price. Well, we've known the asking price for the last 3 weeks.
How many days has he missed from injury leave?
500, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm going to come to Kenny next. Kenny, Benito says, welcome back to the U, Kenny. And Jess has put it in there, what you just said, Lee. Arsenal submit first proposal for Ajax under 18-year-old keeper Tommy Stepford.
They see him as a big talent for the future. Yeah, we did that with how many players?
Yeah, we never see him again. We buy him, we never see him again. You know, I'm sorry, but what? I mean, I don't. If this is the start of Arsenal's new season, God help us. That's all I'm going to say. Make the arms off, man. It's like question for the panel, right? And I'll start with you, Northside, on this one.
Let Kenny go. Go on. Let Kenny go, Jez. Go
on, Kenny. You fire away. Go on.
I think if just to do a quick one. I think when you talk about Martinez,
we need some more violence. Kenny.
Criminal.
That's right. More violence. But I think with Martinez, I think you want goalkeepers. You always talk about a goalkeeper who can save you 12 or 15 points. You think about how we lost the league last season and the season before that when we lost the league. So in 2 seasons we should have won it. If we had someone like Martinez, he could have been worth 10 or 15 points. We might have won those leagues because hindsight's 2020. But the fact is, you look at his performances since he's got to Villa. He's got first team football. He's won everything for Argentina. It was part of the Villa team that's now going to be playing Champions League football. If we were ever to go in for Martinez, we probably wouldn't be able to get him because his price will go through the roof. So that is 100% a risk, of the manager's making. What possessed him to think that Leno would be a more adequate number one? I'll never understand that. For him to give Leno assurances that he'd been the number one, only Arteta knows that, and there's no good pattern on the back for saying, "Oh yeah, I realise my mistake. I've got Ramsdale." I mean, come on, you might as well kept Leno. You're going to get Ramsdale because I always thought Ramsdale was going to be a disaster. But the reason why we're going for Bentley is because Ramsdale be an absolute idiot, be a pork chop if he stays at Arsenal. Because I tell you that, you are not going to get first team football. 50 goal, there is no way you'll be playing in the Champions League under this manager or playing in the league. You'll be lucky to get a cup game. That's if he takes it seriously. So you need to jog on, get Bentley. But one thing, I would say about, the Italian player, Calafiori, Italy have been out of the tournament for the last 2 weeks. What's keeping you, Arsenal? Pay what he's worth. You know full well that Ikivio's not good enough at centre half or left back. Get this lad in. Get this lad in and improve the left-hand side. Left-hand side is our weakness. Let's stop this BS, this bullshit, this crap that Timber is left back. Stop talking absolute garbage, you pork chops. The whole world is mother who actually know football. No, Timber is a right-sided centre half and a right back. He was brought in to give Benjamin White competition and eventually replace him. Stop rewriting history because he had a couple of good games in the Community Shield in the pre-season game. He started at Forest. I wish people would just look at the reasons behind the actual signings. So what Arteta wants, he wants to be beefed up in the defence. But if that's the case, it shouldn't take you too long. As I said, Italy have been out for 2 weeks. Get a move on. Buy the lad if you really want to buy him. And then afterwards, after Monday, I need to see more signings.
Kenny,
Get a move on.
if they went in and offered $50K for the other gentleman, what the hell make you think they went in and with a good bid for California? You know what the deal. You know why the deal ain't done. You know why. You know how we roll. You know how Arsenal roll. They like to go in.
Look, they've been doing this for years. They've been doing this when I was a teenager. The amount of players. I mean, Tony Cottee left West Ham and he went and chose Everton. And I'm sure if Arsenal paid more money, Tony Cottee would have come to West Ham to Arsenal. Oh, don't get me wrong, he made a mistake because Arsenal won the league. And he went to Everton and said he wanted to win things. He won nothing. So more for Tony Cottee. But the fact is, Arsenal have going back 40 years of not getting the players they should be getting. I lost count the amount of players we lost out. Mata, Hazard,
Willian,
Falcao.
Yeah,
all these players we were tracking, but we were aggressively tracking Hazard, and he ends up at Chelsea. How is that possible when you've done all the work for Chelsea to get Hazard? When every season, 2 seasons before we got there, when is this Eden Hazard coming to Arsenal? That's all we ever talked about, and he ends up at Chelsea.
You missed out on Kudos as well, didn't you, Ken?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you missed out on that deal.
Mind you, we've got Mesut Ozil. You know great Mesut Ozil was. I mean, if you don't know, appreciate Mesut Ozil, you don't know football. Yeah, right. I've been watching football 40 years. I know a show pony when I see one. And Mesut Ozil was there, but I don't know football.
Facts, man, facts. And just quickly, I'm going to come to Northside with this one. Just quickly do this super chat. I'm a rival fan, AK4P. I'm a rival fan, but I have to say this. Arsenal are not winning any major title under the Cronkies and Arteta, unfortunately. Well, there you go, Northside. What's your opinion, bro?
We're not. If I'll be completely honest, yeah. This window is going to show us, yeah, their intention behind getting rid of Wenger. Was it because he could no longer produce top 4 in Champions League? Or was it because you wanted a manager to win a major honor? I think it's because he could no longer get Champions League. If Wenger was still getting top 4, getting them Champions League money, they probably would have kept him on. As soon as he slipped out of that top 4 Champions League money place, that's when I thought they got rid of him, because it's like, well, you're costing us money, and they're all about the money. So out. That's when they pulled the trigger, and we'll see, because now is the time to push on to win a major honor. Are they comfortable finishing second every year, or do they want to push on? Because they were backing this manager financially and decisions-wise when we was out of the top 4, when we was finishing 8th, 5th, all these positions. Now that we got second twice, now all of a sudden it seems like the purse strings have been pulled back. Why are we going in for a goalkeeper instead of going in for a striker when we know we need a striker? And the funny thing is this manager got rid of Lacazette to get 2 players that play very similar to Lacazette. Lacazette was not a great goal scorer, but he was great at linking play with the wide players and getting a number 10 into the game. You recruited Jesus that does the same thing. You recruited Havertz that does the same thing. That isn't a great goal scorer, but can pass the ball, get into space where defenders can't, might miss him. Okay, cool. but then you got rid of your only goal scorer to now go back to you need an out and out goal scorer. Make any of this make sense to me? Make any of it make sense? You got rid of two strikers. You got rid of a striker that plays very similarly to Havertz and Jesus. You got rid of him to get two strikers that play exactly the same. You got rid of your goal scorer, but now you need an out and out goal scorer. Is there any answers? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's a great point, actually. That's a great point, mate. Lee, where's our striker?
Probably on his way to America. The King of Zamunda. That is our striker. And it's funny you saying about us, where's our striker? I'm just looking at Arsenal Man United fixture in America on the 27th of this month in Inglewood. If you want to share my screen very quickly, Jez, if you can. This is all the blue is how many tickets are left.
Hang on. There you go.
That's how many tickets left, all the blue. And that game's in 16 days, by the way.
Look at the prices of those tickets.
That's nothing. Wait till you see this, mate. Wait till you see this. Watch this. Best seats. Yeah? Watch this.
Absolutely.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Platinum.
72 quid.
And people inboxing me asking me, am I going to the game? Hell no. Absolutely.
$770.
How much?
$800. Look, $800.
No,
$1,400.
Season ticket prices. That's season ticket prices.
$1,487.
Yeah, but don't worry, Jez. Don't worry, Jez. You get a free food and drink with that.
Oh, right, you do. Gee.
You know what I'm saying? And this is to go and see Edward Nketiah.
And Reece Nelson.
Reece Nelson. Nuno Tavares. Yeah. The third choice goalkeeper. Yeah, because Ramsdale's on international break. David Raya's on international break. He's on international duty. They're both in the final. Not that they're going to play, but that's both of our goalkeepers, by the way. And they're going to want to go on holiday afterwards.
Lee, I heard today that they're talking about trying to get Saliba and them been done a week. Well, they can shoehorn them in and get them that quick before the term. Brother, these players are tired. They're not going to be one to go out all the way across the world.
Is anybody actually going to pay that money?
Have we actually got a third choice goalkeeper? We have Cole Hine. He just signed a new deal. So you're going to see Cole Hine,
an 18-year-old.
You're going to see Cole Hine. Yeah.
Jez, you want to get in quick, get them tickets though, because they're going to sell it in no time. You know, you can see by the prices.
You know what? This doesn't bode well, because like they're talking about the 39th game being in the US.
But Kenny, I told you that. I told you that. Not. I said that they didn't even That's not happening. I'm telling you now, because they talk about bringing.
I thought it would happen, but at that prices, they're not stupid, because they, a lot of you think about it, it's like a lot of these fans abroad, they're not stupid. If they go to like Dortmund, I heard at Dortmund, how much is it for a ticket? About £8 quid.
Kenny, let me bring it home. Excuse me, let me hop in there, Kenny. Those ticket prices are higher than NFL game prices. They're not paying for that. They're not gonna go there and pay that. They can pay that money to go watch the Raiders. No way.
Is that a Kroenke Stadium? I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that?
Pull it back up. If,
one sec.
If it's SoFi, that's the Kroenke Stadium. Yeah, if it's SoFi, it is.
Tickets. Hold on.
That's owned by the Kroenkes, is it?
1 second. What have I done here?
The chat, no. If it's SoFi, yeah, that's the SoFi. That's the Kroenke Stadium.
He's joking.
That's
there you
disgusting.
go.
He's taking the bet. He's totally taking it. Yeah, nobody's gonna pay. No Rams fan that's an Arsenal fan is gonna sacrifice going to a Rams game to pay that price to go watch Arsenal, to go out there and watch the C team, not even the B team, the C team of Arsenal. Ain't happening. No.
Kenny, may I be rude? What do you pay for your season ticket, bro?
Oh, yes, I've got the price here. I thought let me go. Because let me just get me Arsenal. Let's see what it was. Oh, in 2 seconds. I'll get up for you. So I paid it. I'll put Arsenal. Get it up any minute now.
What about the Dignity Health Sports Park? Is that a Kroenke Stadium?
That I don't know.
We're playing Bournemouth there on the 25th. And that's 2 weeks today.
Bournemouth?
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
playing
playing
wrong.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing Bournemouth at the Dignity Health Sports Park, and that's got 1/3 of the stadium still not sold.
Lee, what did I tell you the other day? I said Arsenal need to take this thing all the way back to Wenger days. Just play these preseason games. Go back to Barnet. Go on back
Hey,
down to Barnet.
I'll get up for you. I'll get up for you.
No worries, Ken.
I'm going to go with my banking app because they were Arsenal were very nice to let them know they couldn't get the money quickly out of me. You know what I mean? Seriously, they trust me. Arsenal Football Club, you know, they thanked me for renewing my ticket, which is nice of them. But as soon as I pressed that number in, it came out of bank the next day.
Wow.
Of course it did.
All right. What Arsenal Football Club took out £1,044, 12 pence, and it gets better. They owed me £28. That's why I only paid £1,044.12 because apparently, you know, with me paying for tickets when Arsenal get knocked out of cups, they realised that they owed me money.
Mm.
And they had to pay me back. So yeah,
You just paid season tickets. I just did the math over here. That is $1,348.22. That's what one of those seat prices was at that game that Lee just pulled up.
Yeah.
Shocking. Scandalous.
Lee, Kenny, does that guarantee you home games?
yeah. What I do is I've paid for 23 games, 4 games in the Champions League. Because remember, the Champions League's been expanded, so I paid for the 4 Champions League games plus I played 19 home games in the league. And it gets better as well because I think, Lee, you talked about it on your show as well.
Mm.
If I don't turn up to 20 out of those 23 games, if I turn up to less than 20 out of those 23 games, I'll be banned from the club, a lifetime ban.
They'll revoke the ticket unless you put the ticket that you don't go to on ticket exchange for them to be resold.
Yeah.
You don't does that guarantee you FA Cup games? Home?
No, you have to pay because you know when we play Liverpool in a cup,
That's the 4 Champions League games at home, right? 4 Champions Leagues plus the 19.
Champions League games, yeah. So Liverpool in a cup, I paid £38 for the Liverpool game, got knocked out in the 3rd round, and then for the 2 games in the Champions League, it was. I should have known that. Yeah, hey, I got a discount. I had to pay £68 for 2 tickets.
Rodding to the core.
Do you remember years ago, Kenny, when you had the little folder, the little I used to call them the little checkbook.
I've got it here.
Yeah, I've got loads of them, right? And you got your home tickets.
Yeah,
right?
still got them. I still got that.
And you get your tokens, and you get your cup.
Yeah, they stopped that. They stopped that. After we left Highbury. The last one was at Highbury, where you had the little ticket. It was different colours. So, but as soon as you got to the Emirates, it was like the electronic tag. And then what's happened in the last couple of years? It's now it's based on your phone, so you need to use your phone to get access. But remember the first game of last season? Look what happened. First game of last season.
Yeah, carnage.
It was carnage because the electronic device wasn't working. So all Arsenal fans got crushed, and they had to delay the game by half an hour because it was on TNT Sports. So, you know, Arsenal try to do their best. But one thing I would say is that Arsenal's not actually the most expensive ticket. It seems like the most expensive ticket, but what we were doing is that for the money we were paying, we were getting 26 home games, whilst other clubs in the Premiership were just getting the league games, and they had to pay extra for the cup or go in. So it's one of those things where I think football fans now, they need to be very, very careful because they've done it at Man United, they're doing it at Arsenal, and they're going to do it at every London club. And I think what's happened is that you didn't want YouTubers going to all these games and you moan to the club and complained you couldn't get tickets. Well, the club listened to you But what they've done is the innocent fans are now going to get punished. So all those people who complain for the sake of complaining,
I just want to,
really
Tony, your club moved to the London Stadium, right? You're old school. You were at Upton Park, Building Ground, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It's not dissimilar now for you guys at West Ham, is it?
It's very similar. Yeah, the Emirates and the London Stadium is very similar. Even Sullivan's talking about kind of lambasting the fans because they're not going to games. So he's trying to revoke ticket sales to people that don't go. So yeah, it's a big thing. And full well, the game's outpricing itself for the working man. And they gone is the days where the clubs relied on us paying fees to get into the clubs to watch these games. Now it's all about corporate. We all know that. It's all about the merch. It's sad times, really. It is really sad times.
Mate, Arsenal revoked 54 tickets. Yeah, I think it was 54 season tickets for not being used enough. They didn't attend enough games last season. Yeah. So now imagine, right? Because if you don't go to, Kenny said it's 20 out of 23 you have to go to this season. Right? Or if you don't go to the games, you have to offer them up to ticket exchange so somebody else can go to it because they want all the seats filled, which I understand. I get that. Right? But now imagine you're ill and you're in hospital. Yeah. The last thing on your mind is fucking putting your ticket up for fucking ticket exchange. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure out of them people that have had their tickets revoked, I'm guaranteed there's some circumstances where something like that has happened.
Well, Lee, it happened to me. Last game of the season, I didn't go to the last game of the season. Know, everyone in this thing know why. But all I was thinking about was obviously the situation I was forced into. But the most important thing, the first thing I did as soon as I found out, I was in Gatwick Airport. I phoned a good friend of mine, Andy, and I was just saying, look. Can you do me a favour? Can you help me out with that ticket? And what I did is I made sure that I gave a ticket to him because he's a member, and it got registered with Arsenal and registered with the club that I gave it to him. Now, if I didn't do that, that would have been. I've been to every game, but that would have been watching me now.
That would have been a little
yeah. And that's 2 days. That was 2 days before the Everton last home game against Everton.
But now imagine if something happened, right? So let's say you live an hour and a half away from the stadium. You leave in plenty of time, and there's a massive accident on the motorway, right? And your battery's dead, for example. Yeah, you forgot to take your charger. Well, now you can't change the ticket, and you don't turn up for the game. You turn up, and by that time they're not letting you in. Or you ain't going to make it to the game. Now imagine another instance, right? Some emergency happens. Whilst you're leaving work to go to the ground, literally on the day of the game, you're about to get on the metro or get on the bus, and then you get a phone call where you have to come home, something's that, blah, blah, blah. Last thing on your mind is going, oh, hold on, I can't stop, hold up, I've just got to put that ticket on ticket exchange. Fuck off, man.
But the thing is, the problem is, that's how football's going. Every London club is going to do it. Especially the London clubs with big stadiums.
Man, you were doing it, Said said. Yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah. Man United have been doing this for years. Man United is probably the biggest club in England, so they've always had, and I say respectfully, people who've wanted to come to watch Man United because Man United fans are not just in Manchester, all over the world, and it's the same with West Ham. Any team in London has got a stadium worth, over 62,000 or 60,000 stadium, then they're going to get the day trippers now because, day trippers who want to take in a football game, because that's the word they use, take in a game. They've got choice now. Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea, because Chelsea's reputation. And then if they build a big stadium, Chelsea going to have the same situation as we had before. Hence and plus you look at before watch-alongs became the fashion, a lot of prominent Arsenal fans who went on YouTube, they were getting tickets for games. Now, I'm not saying they didn't have memberships, but 5% of them didn't. Only 5% of them were season ticket holders, so they got games. Now, because of watch-alongs, the demand's not there. You look at the situation in the Euros. There's a reason why a lot of the prominent football fans don't get tickets to Euros. One, because it's abroad, and two, they can't. So they've gone down to watch alongs, and that's what's happening. Tickets are becoming really scarce, and clubs are gonna punish the people who are loyal, and they're not going to hear that you had an accident. All they're going to care about is, well, that seat's not filled, and we're not benefiting from it.
Yep.
I tell you one thing, there's sometimes when you give the club back your ticket, those seats are still empty.
Yeah.
You know, I still see empty seats at big games. So I know for a fact the club don't always get it back, but they want control of it. They don't want to give it back.
Ticket for? If you give back your match day ticket, right, to ticket exchange, right, where you are on the ground, I know roughly where you are on the ground, right? How much they sell your ticket for?
Well, they said they'll sell your ticket. That all they're going to do is that they'll say that they'll sell your ticket for a certain price, and then you'll get the credit back if you get the credit. But I had the credit.
I don't believe that. I reckon there's
it depends what game it is, Jez. If it's a category A, then they're going to sell it well over 60 quid. Well over 60 quid for where you are. It's in the upper tier, it'd be up to 50 quid.
But I do think that with Arsenal Football Club, to a certain extent, you know, tighten your belts because more's going to happen. I mean, look what they did with the away tickets. You know,
mate.
I find this a little bit annoying. I do, right? Because I'm so glad. I am so glad that I gave my season ticket up in 2016 because I think this is corrupt. Northside, right? I don't know where you live, and that's fair enough. But give me a clue, man. Just give me a clue, right? If you had to buy an e-ticket, right, which is about 84 quid, for you to get to the ground, transport, maybe a few drinks, something to eat, right? You've got to be seriously. I mean, you live North London somewhere. I don't want to know where you are, but
Northwest, always repping Northwest.
Okay, fair play. But seriously, it's going to cost money, man, isn't it? 150 quid for you the day out, at least, minimum.
That's probably the minimum.
80 quid for a ticket, let's say, plus your transport, plus your beer, 2-3 pints, whatever wine, whatever you're having. I don't know.
Yeah.
Burger and chips, which is a lot of shit.
Yeah, don't get them the Emirates. Fucking hell, that's about 27 quid.
Steak sandwich, chips, man. Yeah, and a free drink, which is shit. 27.
The last time I was at the Emirates was Unai Emery's game. I think it was one of his first games, maybe not his first game against Man City. Yeah. And I remember the food was horrendous. Oh my days!
Did you get one of them chicken burgers that looks like somebody's picked up a rock and just put it between two buns? It's literally.
Have you ever had hospital food?
There's no sauce. There's no nothing. It's just a.
It's not hospital food, Lee. It's not hospital.
Hospital food's even better.
It's not hospital food. I can't lie. And if you ever had hospital food, I work for a hospital. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
Tell you what, mate. That's a bit on. Go to St. Bart's where I went for my operation. The food there is brilliant, proper.
There you go. Very quickly, just to change the subject real quick. We've just got rid of 2 players.
Yeah.
Don't fall for that. Pull that back up, Jez. I want you to look at that real close because a lot of people are going to fall for that. Pull it back up, Jez. Well, go ahead and finish your playing, Lee.
Yeah, go on. No, I was going to say, we've just got rid of 2 players, yeah? Why have they both gone on loan? With obligation to buy. Why have they sold them?
There you go. Option. I was like, we ain't got rid of them.
I didn't know you were going. That's why I let you go. I was like, oh. No. There's an obligation to buy. So they're buying them next summer. So both of them
option.
Obligation, I think. I think they're obligations. Hold on.
I think Davaj
is
Davaj's obligation.
Stanley Lakonga's an option. Oh my fucking
option, bro.
Tavares is an obligation. The 9 million fee obligation for Tavares, 9 million euros. That's about what? 7.5 mil. 7 mil. Yeah, about 7.5 million. Next summer, we get that. Right? That's an obligation, and that'll be spread over the lifetime of the contract. So we'll be getting drip-fed that for 5 years. Right? And Sevilla will cover his salary for Sambila Conga with a 12 million buy option.
Lee, I hear what you're saying, guys. Sorry to cut in. I hear what you're saying, but the thing about it, right, is that if we were to sort of like put our thinking caps on and be realistic, the sort of that you can't imagine that if we were to sort of like negotiate for players like Smith Rowe, that they will definitely be sold. There's no way there'll be obligation to sell. But it just shows you that players like Tavares and players like Lokonga, it's one of those, and I say it respectfully, when you buy badly, you have a problem. The same thing, you could put Tavares and Lokonga in the same category as Almunia and Abue. Players that, for some reason they're effective for a couple of years, and then when you try to sell them, they'll no takers. Because I'll tell you one thing now, they're not good. Those players, Lokonga and Tavares, they're not leaving Arsenal. Nope. You look how much money we're paying them. Seriously think they're going to go to another club on a fraction of contract? No. What you're going to have is you're going to have these loan deals until the contract expired, and then you're given a frank boff. You're never going to be able to sell those players. But
to your point, that's why Luton and Nottingham Forest had the option to buy and refused both of them.
Because
they can't afford their salaries. So basically, what's the situation is, you're not going to. If we can't sell Smith Rowe, then something's wrong, mate. If we can't sell Nketiah, something's seriously wrong. And who knows? We may have the situation like Reece Nelson. But if definitely Nketiah and Smith Rowe, players who've played who've been in England squads, you can't sell them. Then something's dodgy's going on. But players like Tavares and Lokonga.
Tavares, Top Gooner to be out here twerking, saying we got our money back because it was about 9 million we paid for him in euros.
Yeah. Of course,
they'll say we got our money back, forgetting that we paid that wages for 3 years.
I put them in the same category as Abue and Almunia.
Nuno Tavares is on 30 grand a week. This website's pretty spot on. To be fair, he's on 30 grand a week. Smith Rowe is on 40, by the way. Yeah, 30 grand. Kivior's on 58 grand. Oh my days. 58 grand.
Yeah, that's what we paying him, bro.
But we ripped up contracts to get back in the same situation.
Say it again.
We ripped up contracts to get back in the same situation.
Right there.
Ripped up contracts.
Sambila Conga is on 50 grand a week. 50. We bought this guy.
Hold on. They said, I watched this during the season. Northside and Jez and Kenny sat on a show and told these folk about these players that need to be moved, how they were eating up payroll, and what are we seeing right now? The same players that they have defended, they have stood down, they have got on the hill and fought for. Nobody wants these players. Nobody wants these players. And if you think that Marseille is going to put up with the mess that we put up with over here with Nketiah for the last few years, I have a bridge right down my hall. It's right there. I will be more than glad to put in your hand.
The thing is, with the Tavares one, it says with an obligation. So let me read the exact thing, Fabrizio. Lazio are advancing well. So that's not done yet. Yeah, with talks on Nuno Tavares. Camp agreed to pay. Camp to agree on personal terms. Right. Agreed sealed fee of 9 million with Arsenal. Loan with obligation to buy, with a sell-on clause also included. So we have got an obligation on that, yeah? Positive contacts on salary with a player, still waiting to get the deal done, right? Now, let's say that they get that deal in, right? And that's done with an obligation, right? If he goes there and after 4, 5, 6, 7 games, yeah, he's dropping stinker, can they cancel that? Or now are they obliged to buy him? Because they could quite easily say, well, there's a get out of jail here somewhere, surely. Yeah, let's say that gets through. Let's say that gets done and they buy him and it's done. Well done. We got money.
Do you know, like some players have got an appearance thing? If you don't do a number of appearances, then they don't have the obligation to buy.
Didn't they do that with
players like that? Where if they don't meet a certain type of appearance, like let's say it's 15 appearances. Yeah, I know what you mean. If the obligation is only if they hit a certain.
So João Felix, yeah, when he went to, where did he go? Yeah, to
Chelsea.
Atleti. When he went to Atleti, was it Atleti? No, when he went to was it Barcelona?
Chelsea. Was it Chelsea?
Somewhere he went.
Chelsea.
Yeah, somewhere he went. He had to pay No, it was Griezmann. I'm lying. It was Griezmann. It was Griezmann. And they sat Griezmann on the bench for ages. Or maybe it was him. Maybe it was. Either way, they deliberately sat him on the bench. Yeah, because if they played him, yeah, then the obligation kicked in.
That's what I'm saying. And then they stopped it. But they stopped it. When they knew he wasn't worth it, they stopped it on the last appearance and just
that's what happened with your boy. That's what happened with your boy this year. The one that's down at Palmeiras, the Brazilian. That's what happened with him.
But bro, we're only getting away with it, yeah? We've got a whole bench. You see Sunderland Till I Die. They had Rodwell, where he was literally stinking it out. He was on a wage, like Premier League
50 bags a week he was on.
Bro, he went to the Championship and said, nah, I'm sitting on it, yeah? Arsenal, why we get away with it is because we won't be in that situation. But if we got relegated, we got a whole bench on Premier League wages that we don't use, that we don't have any plan for because they're not good enough, and they're going to sit on that. We ripped up contracts saying that we will never put ourselves in this position under this manager to then return right to the same situation. But because we got Champions League money, that's going to, but we got Champions League money. That's an extra boost. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is disgrace. We struggled to even get the money that we paid for the player. I swear we paid for Tavares something around 20 odd million pounds.
Yeah.
We could have got Grimaldo. We could have got Grimaldo.
Tavares, we paid 7 mil. Yeah, pounds. But with Sambila Conga, it was about 17 million.
Tony, you know, I think Arsenal are probably one of the only clubs this drama goes on with. I mean, I've seen this all my life. Ever since being a little kiddie, nothing seems to have changed the philosophy of the big posh Arsenal Football Club, man. I don't see this happening at other clubs. Doesn't happen at West Ham. You get your business done, you get your players out. We just pontificate, piss arse around, and just like I'm sorry, guys, but Lokonga, all these players, just F off out the club. You're not good enough. You're not the levels we need. Just flog them. Get rid of them. Get up with it.
I think your problem is, Jez, you put them on big money, and then when you go to sell them on, I think most people in the panel and the chat's already said, no club's going to kind of want to take that on. I mean, Nketiah, there's rumours that we're looking at him. Are we going to pay £100,000 a week? I can't see that. For a player that sits on the bench, Marseille want to buy him for apparently £21 million. But over here, Arsenal want to sell him for 50. Nah.
There's no need to, bro. There's no need to, because we see the lower clubs, the clubs outside the big six. They can go and get a Dovbyk 40 mil. West Ham can afford that. Brighton can probably afford that. All the smaller teams could probably afford that. So why are they going to get an Nketiah for 50 mil? But they can get a Dovbyk for 40 million euros. They don't need to. The smaller clubs in England can bully the lower clubs in Spain, the smaller clubs in France, the smaller clubs in Portugal. They can bully them. So why are they going to get a Premier League player that's flopped for how many seasons? They don't need to. That's why there's a lack of buying within the Premier League. They can go and scout. Leicester wasn't buying within the Premier League. Neither was Southampton. Were they buying within the Premier League?
But they're businesses. Northside, they're businesses, aren't they? Because the thing you talk about Brighton and Leicester, what they're doing is Brighton know if they go to these lower league, smaller clubs in Europe, you're going to get a situation like what they got with the players like Casado, buy them for a small fee, selling for shooting money, Trossard selling for shooting money, and that's how these clubs work. So the situation is that the only time that Brighton are going to get a player like Nketiah is the players are going to get on a free. Look at players like Lallana on a free. What's it? Who was on a free? Welbeck on a free. The player that I really, really respect is probably James Milner on a free.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad though, right? This Sambila Conga deal, I've just gone back to when we signed him. That was 3 years ago next week. 3 years ago, yeah? And they said the reported fees around 15 million quid, which is about 18 million euro, right? We're now loaning it, and that was a 5-year deal. So he's got 2 years left on that current deal, yeah? Two years left. He's going on loan to Sevilla for 1 year with an option.
Man.
If they say no, they don't want to buy him for 12 million euros, then he's in the final year of his contract.
Hey, Lee, They told me, they told all of us in January, they said financial fair play. Do you see these deals? Y'all want to see why we in major trouble when it comes to financial issue? Look at the wages. Look these people, as Lisa, nicking a living. I mean, look at this. This is just, we just bought, it's just like going to the store buying expired food. You just buying expired food right off the shelf. I mean, that's what we've done. And we've just bought junk. It's no good. It's absolutely no good. And here we are, 2 years removed from competing for this title for 2 years. And then 5 years, we're half a decade into this man's leadership. And we're still dealing with players that we bought 3, 4, 5 years ago that were no good. And now you got people saying, well, there's nobody in the market that's any good. Bro, we missed the opportunity to go out and buy quality players. Fumbling around with these kind of deals. It's Northside said we could have went out and spent that $20 million somewhere else. It's sickening. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. This year fans are gonna find out what time it is. When like
what's sad, Matty, yeah? You look at the recruitment under Wenger, yeah, the last 10 years of Wenger. Let's keep it real, yeah. The last 10 years of Wenger, when we had to pay a stadium off, yeah. Let's just say we had to pay. Let's just go with the narrative. He unearthed Haleb, Rosicky, Adebayor, Van Persie. Who else? Alex Song. Who else? Anyone help me? Who else? Who else to be unearthed? Clichy, Fabregas. This is under a system that we had to compete with Chelsea, oil money. Oh, we had to compete with oil money from City. You look at the caliber of players under a system where we had less money. Sorry, Jez, what was that? Nasri, another one. You look at the player profile, and you look at the player profile now. Look at the players that we're getting from abroad now that we have more money to spend. The Cronkies paid off the stadium. And you look at the player profile then when we had a shoestring budget and we're still getting Champions League bare minimum. We still had a youth academy that was able in cup competitions to get us to semi-finals and finals. Using the academy. Only the academy. The majority of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, you know, round 1, round 2, all the way up to the quarterfinals, most of the time was our youth players. Now we use our bench. We're getting knocked out way before the quarterfinals. We're not even reaching quarters or semis. We actually had this manager's Spanish, right? Cool. We had Wenger. Look at the French players that he unearthed. Overmars, Thierry Henry, Van Persie, Nasri. All these players, bro, because of his reputation in the game. Who's coming to play for Mikel Arteta? Would you rather play for Mikel Arteta? I know Xavi's in the Bundesliga, but who would you rather play for? Because as in terms of manager now and player, Xavi's a more successful manager and player. Who would you rather play for? Even in Wenger's demise, he still had a pull. Let's be fair to him. I wanted him gone. He still had the pull to attract French players away from France and away from other big clubs and come to Arsenal based off of the history of Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. Do we have that now?
Well, his last signing for Arsenal was Aubameyang. He brought Mkhitaryan in. Yeah, and people laughed at that signing. Yeah, Mkhitaryan wasn't as bad as he showed. Yeah.
And he got rid of that. And he got rid of Aubameyang for free, and then they celebrated it. They celebrated it. Only for another club to make 12 million off of him.
6 months later, they sold him for 12 mil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They laugh to celebrate that. And then
in that boardroom with Edu on that Aubameyang deal. Yeah, that is now our new CEO, by the way.
Yeah.
Because now Vinay's gone. That's now our new CEO. He sat there and agreed with Edu when Edu said, yeah, well, he's over the age of 30. I don't think we can get any money for him. And Garlic's head said, yeah, I agree. He's now our CEO. And then 6 months later, Barca sold him to Chelsea and got 12 mil.
How many
2 days ago, we put it to bid for 50K on a player. With that dude running the show, by the way.
He's only been in the job a couple of days.
How many players? How many world-class players? Where are the world-class players, guys? Because how many of these world-class players, right, yeah, that are out there are going to play, yeah, for Edu, Garlic Head, right, and Arteta? No, nobody.
Yes, I just looked up Real Madrid, yeah, the director of football is Argentinian. Jez. Real Madrid's director of football.
Is that Valderrama?
Solari, yeah? How come he can identify Rodrigo? Vinny, all these Brazilian ballers, yeah? But we've got a Brazilian director of football. Who's he on left? Marquinhos.
Guaraná, I told you.
How can an Argentinian have more knowledge about the Brazilian league than a director of football that is a native Brazilian? And he talks like, oh, Mikel is very good, G. We're going to do the sponsor. And
he was the sporting director for the Brazil national team as well.
Bro, I told you. Did you watch?
Like a freshie. You should know what's going on in Brazil. And listen, I know anyone that says Gucci and Fiji, and Alechi, and we can play 50 million pound, G, you should know what's going on, bro. You can barely speak English. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, no, the market. Nah, bro, he's a bum, bro.
No, sir, I told you. What I told you, my girlfriend. Tell you what's they don't know they don't know Edu like that down there, man. They don't know Edu like that down there.
The Brazilian Chandler from Friends, bro. You're a freshie. Every time
Brazilian Chandler.
Bro, this guy's English is as bad as good evening. I'm just Brazilian version, and I know, bro, because when they start saying Gucci, I know you don't know English. But it's very good. Oh, Mikel, I got you a coffee, Mikel. I got a 180 pages, layers, Mikel.
This man, I was talking with your perspective. Let me say it right quick, and I'm gonna let you have it. To back that up, put this in perspective. We were about to pay $90 million for Mudryk under this same man. Yeah. Under this man. Can they show?
But you don't understand, bro. It's Gucci, it's cheapy, he is speedy, and he can score. You know what I mean? Very good, G. Very good for the budget. I'm tired of this guy, bro. I'm tired of hearing this guy, bro. I'm tired of hearing this guy, though. The Brazilian flipping Chandler from Friends, bro. He's a bum. He's an absolute bum. I'm tired of him, bro. He's a bum.
But guys, guys, one question to ask you guys, though. The problem, Edu, you know what Edu's get out clause is? The fact is, man, and I say it respect, right? I say it respect. If you're a top Brazilian player, you ain't coming to Arsenal. You're going to Real Madrid. You look at the Brazilians we got. You look at, and I'm no disrespect to Martinelli, right? But if Martinelli was to play in the era of the 90s or the 80s, Martinelli would be playing what, third division?
No, you'd be eighth division.
But the real Brazilian players, the real top talent, we're not going to get a hope of going to, because they're going to say, "Who the fuck is Edu, man?" Their first thing they're going to do is that they're going to go around Madrid, because in Brazil and in Central America, all they know is Real Madrid. They don't know Arsenal. They know Man City, but they don't know Arsenal, because they know Man City because of Pep, and they know Brazil. They know Real Madrid because of all the fact that, you know, Real Madrid is like the second club. You go to Brazil, you go to Costa Rica, go to those places, Real Madrid. So that's the situation it is. Even if and that's the problem with Arsenal. Until we start winning these trophies, if we had won the league last season and the season before, when Pep was beatable, because Pep was beatable last season, just gone, and he's beatable the season before. This myth that Pep can't be beaten is rubbish. We gave Pep the title twice. Until we start doing that, we ain't getting these players like Endrick, Rodrigo, or Vinicius Jr. They're going to go around Madrid, or going to go Man City. That's the barometer we need, and that's why I always say, if Arteta does not win the title next season, then what you're going to get is going to get people patting him on the back for finishing second. I mean, we slag off Southgate as a fraud. Yeah, we praise Arteta because he plays this innovative football, but we don't win. We don't win trophies. We praise him for finishing second when we snatch, defeat out of the victory, and that's the situation. We're not getting big players, and we start winning the league, and then go on to win the Champions League, because all this stuff about we're in the Champions League, we should attract players. Not too funny. How many English clubs can get in the Champions League? 4 or 5. So they've got a choice of these other clubs, and then you've got the other clubs in Europe. So Champions League football, yeah, it will get your name in the lights, but you look at all these top players. They're only going to use Arsenal to negotiate transfers elsewhere because they were doing it to us for years. Hazard, Mata, all these other people, all the nonsense that came out. Oh, Arsenal, we thought we were going to Arsenal. No, you used Arsenal to negotiate with other clubs to get better money.
And let's be real. Let's be real. You're spot on with that, Kenny. Yeah, absolutely spot on. But let's be real as well, right? The one or two players that we do get that are exceptional, i.e., Saliba. We don't win anything this season. He's going Madrid, mate.
Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's be real with it. He don't owe Arsenal. He don't owe Arteta anything. He owes him nothing.
If anything, he owed him a little bit of that a receipt because he was about to sell him, and people forget about that. People forget. He wanted him out of here, and then you saw what he won with Gabriel this year when they had a party playing over at right back. Let's not forget. Now he didn't start the season.
Yeah, he was on the
You know
bench.
what? Look at this comment right here, yeah, about Lee Madrid blocking everyone. Put your Arsenal top in the bin, you disgrace. First of all, you can't spell disgrace, so get back to school. Secondly, why is it that your profile picture is Muhammad Ali? Name us 5 boxers that were nearly men that put the pressure on from that era. I bet you can't. So you want to put your profile picture of a winner, but you don't want your club to be a winner. But the only boxer of that era you know is a winner. That's him.
That's him. That's him in the profile picture, not coming up off the mat. He's not Muhammad Ali.
No, but Matty, do you see how they always want to associate with winners? I bet he's got a pair of Jordans as well. How do you know about Jordan? You ain't American. I bet any money you ain't American. How do you know about Jordan? Name all the nearly men.
Carlisle crew coming through, so he's obviously in Carlisle.
Oh, well, this is it, innit? You know what I mean? Man's got that hard rock for Arteta, innit? Anyway, we move. You know what I mean? Pause.
No, it's true though. They always want to associate with winners. You're right. Anyone who says that, oh yeah, you want to, you're a disgrace. They all have a pair of Jordans, bro. They do. They do.
I just want to cut the starred comments, which I think, if I can find them. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Moore, these moaning, gee, women fake fans. Yeah, okay.
Why can't they? Hold on, sorry, Jez. Why can none of these retards spell properly?
Exactly.
Why has he put a full stop between the N and the G, bruv? Like what, mate? If you're going to come on here and chat shit, at least chat shit and spell it properly.
Hey, you know what? I've got something with Ryan, mate. No, if you want to see fake fans, mate, Ryan, they're not on his panel. Just go and watch. Go and watch those pork chops that go to Box Park and go to England, or go and film themselves watching England and start cheering, because they're the fakes. They're the ones who will slag us off because we love football, who've never been in a Premiership game, hate football, but because England are doing okay, it's an opportunity for them. They're the fake fans. Have a go at them, not us.
I'd like to say, Ryan, you have been blocked, by the way. Mama Flossie has blocked you. Thanks for subbing, because I've actually put this on.
Yeah, see, that's what you got to do now, Jez. If they want to comment and chat shit, put it on sub-only mode, because half of them are that thick. Because they were born in deficit and born buffering, they'll forget to unsub, Jez.
Yep, so thanks for that, bro. Thanks for your subscription and everything. At the end of the day, Tony has been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of West Ham games. Northside has been to the Emirates loads of times. Kenny has been to untold thousands, plus over 1,000 games. Lee's been to shit loads of games, been to more away games in Europe than I have. Big up to him for that, because I haven't. I've only been to a few. And I've been to quite a few games at the Emirates over the years. So, yeah, we're fake fans, man. We actually, if you'd like to one day, Ryan, come and actually talk to us in real time, yeah, about Arsenal and actually about what you know about the club, then you're more than welcome. But sitting in the chat talking absolute bullshit, because you actually have probably never been to a game in your life. Yeah, you probably don't even know where the Emirates is. You probably don't even know where the Highbury is. So how about shut up, go away, and go back into your little sticky bed, right, and have a little toss off over Arteta. Right, I'll catch you later on that one, because people like you are just an embarrassment for football. You seriously are. You're seriously embarrassing. Because we have proper Arsenal fans and West Ham here tonight. Yeah, right. Actually know about their football clubs. Can actually talk the talk. Right? Ryan? Can you walk the walk? I doubt you can, fella. So shut up and go away, because I don't need time for people like you. I have respect for Tony, Matty, Northside, Lee, and my good buddy Kenny. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you people are embarrassing, and you are the people that are just, you are dragging this club into the gutter, right? Because you have no respect for the team, the club, and that badge, the iconic badge, not the plastic badge, the iconic badge. So get out, sod off, right, and go and support another team, because you are absolutely embarrassing, right? Go away. No time for you. Anyway, there we go. That's it. Lawrence, big up, Lawrence, mate. Big up to you, brother. Proper West Ham there for you. And as I say, Tony, sad to see one of your Legends fans died 2-3 weeks ago, mate. Bonzo.
Yeah.
Proper fan there, mate. Proper.
Good send off, though. Good send off.
Yeah. Proper ICF there, mate. He was, as you know, one of the ICF, and big up to him. Somebody I know, I drink with him, Brian Gillespie, in my local. He was good mates with him, and he was an ICF. So big up to him, man. Tony, we're going to wrap this up. Shout it out, bro, please, if you may.
Yeah, sure. It's Early Doors Football TV. You can find me on YouTube, on X, and obviously on Insta as well. Jez, again, thanks for inviting me on. Just to let you know, panel as well, if you want to go and see the Arsenal away games in America, Matty's got plenty of rooms at his gaff. So go and see Matty. He'll hook you up with places.
I'm putting your ass back on the plane, sending you right back to Heathrow. I say, no, you're not. I'm not going to let you spend your money to go watch that shit.
But I appreciate being on here, and obviously with the esteemed panel as well. Much love.
We got time, man.
Thank you.
Always.
Much love, bro.
TJ's going to one of the games, I believe. I think.
TJ went to that United States game last week. That embarrassment.
TJ loves it, man. He loves it.
He loves it, man. He love it.
Yeah, fair play. If he's got the money, fair play. I mean, wow. I'm still shocked. Anyway,
Not even about the money. It's about the time watching that shit. You ain't getting your time back.
Bro,
You can get your money back. You ain't getting your time back.
yeah.
seriously, man. Seriously. I mean, I think it's would they, very quick roundup question. Let's not go long on this one. If we were going to Rwanda, how much do you think they'd charge for a ticket?
Let me just talk
No,
about it later.
Ugandan dollars.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be. That's my answer.
Hey, you already know they done it.
I am calling from your bank.
From Tanzania.
Hey, no, son, you know you got your boy already down there. He said if I see Arteta, I will punch him up.
Oh yeah, that guy was on smoke. Yeah, he was on smoke, ready to punch him up.
Don't you think it's a disgrace? Don't you think it's a disgrace, right? We've got a shirt back, Rwanda, visit Rwanda
Just
on
talk
the left shoulder, right? And we've never ever been there.
Mad, isn't it?
It annoys me. It winds me up.
I actually see a video. This is crazy. I actually see a video on YouTube the other day, and it just came up on the algorithm, and it was about Rwanda. Yeah, so I thought, let me have a little look at this. Yeah, let me just see, because like all you see when you see it on like little clips that Arsenal put out when Ray Parler's trying to push it, yeah, was them going out into the jungle and stuff like that, going on safari and stuff. Yeah. It actually looks sick. I can't lie.
It's Metropolitan, man. They have Metropolitan down there, man.
Bro, it looks sick. It looks super clean and tidy. The buildings look high tech. Yeah, not that I'd expect it not to, but like, I've never met anybody that's been to Rwanda, bruv. Yeah, so you don't have any feedback on it, only from what you're seeing, innit? Yeah, and what Arsenal have shown is them out in the jungle, yeah, going out on safari. Yeah, that's all I've seen. So when that video popped up, I was like, right, let me check this out. Yeah, and it was some guy walking around just chatting to everybody with a mic. It was sick. Proper cool, man. It looked super nice. I can't lie. So yeah, any Rwandans watching this, if you want to book me flight, and I'll go to Rwanda more than Arsenal.
How many times have they had TV been there?
Nil. Wow.
No, I think they beat Nigeria. They beat the Ghana, so I think they will do. Well, I think wherever they get a big fan base, they'll go. So they
won't be going Rwanda then.
No, they won't be going. I think they'll definitely go to. Robbie, Robbie,
Robbie.
He likes talking about his family heritage. No, seriously, he likes talking his family heritage back to Jamaica. I could see him going there. Could go to America.
There's loads of Arsenal fans in Jamaica, man. Loads.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do their next watch along will be in Jamaica. They'll be a fools not to explore it because, they got a massive fan base there. They'll love it.
You did not answer my question though. Is how much would they charge to go and charge a ticket in Rwanda? Seriously,
well, they ain't going to be charging $1,000 for a ticket. I think the cheapest ticket for that Man United game was $162.
Ooh. Yeah,
they ain't going to be charging that. Well, this is why they're not going to these countries. Like we've got massive fan bases, in a lot of countries around the world, especially in the African continent. Like Kenny said, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. Yeah, we got loads of fans in these countries. Yeah, why haven't we been out there on the tour? Why? Because it's about the man. It's about the man.
I think what it is right now. I think if it's guided by the Premier League, isn't it? The Premier League want the clubs to do as many tours as ever because, they know they can make a lot of money through TV exposure, and they know that in terms of advertising, merchandise, and selling the product, they're laughing. Let's face it, the Premier League, do they really need TNT Sports, Sky Sports, and Amazon? They could do it themselves.
They could, and they will do at some point. They will do a package, and they'll be stupid not to, right? Where they can sell, and I've said this for years, right? Where they can sell to the likes of us, that sit at home and don't go to the games. I know you do, Kenny, right? And I know Tone as well, right? But for us sitting at home watching the games, they have to be stupid not to sell a package, bin off Sky and TNT, and sell a season ticket online. Think how many you get every game, and it costs you, say, same season ticket as Kenny's paying. So it costs about $1,000. People are paid at left, right, and centre.
Lee, they're getting ready to do it here in the States, man. That's one of the discussions that's going on with the court ruling here. Is that that the NFL what stems from the court ruling is that the NFL may have the ability in the next couple of years to where if you just want to watch your team's game, you pay the price to watch all of your team's game at a set price.
Yep.
It'll happen. No guarantee.
100% it's going to happen. 100% it's going to happen.
They talked about that years ago, though, Lee, and it never took off. I don't know why.
Because
just the case,
the problem is the smaller teams in the Premier League, the ones that have just been promoted or the lower down the tables teams, they haven't got the global fan bases. No. So they're the ones that have been holding it back, I reckon. Because I guarantee Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, them four especially. Man City are massive as well now, by the way. Like, don't be fooled by empty seats in the stadium, whatever, mate. Yeah, I actually see an Arsenal shirt for Saudi the other day in JD Sports Area, the first one I've seen in 5 years. And it's the new story. Real talk, Man City shirts everywhere in the shops out here, mate. Yeah, Man City shirts everywhere, PSG shirts. Yeah, but now imagine them four clubs with their global fan bases charging $1,000 per ticket to watch every game online. Champions League, the lot, or even just Premier League, and then you have to buy Champions League like package or something. I don't know. Yeah, but now imagine, if 10 million, not even 10 million, let's just say 5 million people buy that at $1,000 each. Yeah, then you can do add-ons. Yeah, the exclusive content with the players. For the online stuff rather than just a generic Sky Sports interview after the game.
Say hi to
Declan. You can say hi to Win. There will be a whole feature on Win the dog. So who's feeding Win, who's picking the poo up. Like, do you know what I'm saying? This will happen at some point. It'll take another 5 years or so, but this will happen. Yeah, and if you get every single Premier League game, every FA Cup, League Cup, and Champions League game, and it's between £1,000 and £1,500, how many people would buy that?
And
yeah, all your Sky package off, TNT package off, and that's around £100 a month in England. Yeah, for all the packages. Yes, that's £1,200 straight away. You don't need Sky Sports anymore. You just do it with Arsenal.
And then you know what happened with the stem from that? The Super League pop back up. You had the Super League.
It's going to happen, man. I'm saying that will happen, and so will the paying for each individual team. Because why is there a 3 p.m. blackout in England? Well, you can literally go to Ireland, yeah, a 45-minute flight from England, and you can watch all the Premier League games at 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
but if the 3 p.m. blackout
to France and watch it.
Yeah.
Half an hour, hour and a half journey if you want, right? Straight over, bang, there you go, in Calais. Thank you very much. Watch all the Premier League games.
Yeah, but the thing is that people abroad, they're paying for the privilege of free playing blackout. So if you're now making it more available to British viewers, you're calling your market. It's a con. People, NBC, Star Sports in Africa, Optus Sport in Australia. They're not paying for these big games. That we get. 7:30 kickoffs or the 12:30s. They want the 3 p.m.s. They're the exclusives. Yeah. That's what they're paying for.
But then, how many 3 p.m. games are the big games? They're normally the work.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
The work teams, should I say?
But what they're doing, they're playing for the exclusives. That's what the money is. The big games, anyone can get them, but it's the exclusives they want. They want access to every game involving Man City, every game involving Arsenal.
See, out here, I've got my zone España, and I got the NFL package because of the Super Bowl. I think that was an extra $4.99 a month. €4 a month, €5. I've still got that. So I pay $29.99 a month. I get every single Premier League game, every single one. Yeah, I get most of La Liga, and then I signed up to Movistar Plus, which is $14.99 a month, and then I get some of the other La Ligas. Yeah, and then there's 3 weeks out of the 38 where neither of them have it. Yeah, so it's like I get 35 game weeks of most games. Yeah, in La Liga, for a combined fee with the Premier League, I get some of the Portuguese games, I get some of the Italian games, I get some of the cup games from other leagues, I get all the FA Cup, I get some of the League Cup from England, I get all the motor racing, the darts, the snooker, boxing, and it's cost me 50 quid, €45 a month.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you're their market. You live abroad. But let's not forget, back 20 years ago, and even up to about 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Being exaggerating, but 5 years ago, you could go. There are certain pubs in this country where you can watch the 3 o'clock, but the Premier League, not Sky, the Premier League, aided and abetted by Sky, have effed it up now. They're now prosecuting people because what we're doing in this country, this isn't for us. By allowing people in this country to watch the 3 p.m.s, either by streaming or in your local your prescribed pub in a certain area. That's basically basically reneging on the deal that they gave to broadcast abroad, because broadcast abroad, that's the deal. They want access to every game. They don't want. So one of the reasons why they can claim that they have been conned is because one thing, broadcasters, the Premier League sold those 3 p.m. games as exclusives. And that's how you get your money. And that's why they're charging through the roof. Now, if we're getting it, the foreign broadcasters can say, right, hang on, we want an exemption. Look what happened during lockdown when every game was shown live in this country. All the broadcasters from abroad got an exemption because they weren't getting their exclusives.
Well, they had to get the revenue back in.
Yeah, they were trying to charge 15 quid to watch Burnley fucking Sheffield United.
Yeah. Jokers.
Cheeky bastards.
Cheeky bastards. Anyway, I want to wrap this up, guys. Matty, bro, thanks for joining me as always. Shout your channel out, man, please.
Southern Gooner here on YouTube. And we're working with Lion Text today. We're going to be recording our series, The Streets Won't Forget. We've got quite a few. I'll tell you, one is Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
I watched the Recoba one. Oh my days.
Yeah, yeah, and the other one is I pronounce his name every single time wrong. I think it's Fabien. Used to play for Marseille. Kenny, you know I'm talking about, the guy that was really good. Used to play for Marseille back in the early 90s, back in about 92, 93. Yeah, Pop. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
See, I know ball, mate. I know ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we're working on today, man. So, and Kenny, not Kenny, but Lee and Jez, I got something special for y'all too. So we'll be linking up soon.
Definitely.
Thank you, man. Northside. Shout your channel out, bro. Well done. Big up. Full time. Fair play to you, brother. Yep, that's going to be a different experience. And good luck with that one, brother. And shout your channel out, man.
Big up, Jez. Big up to the panel. Big up to everyone. No, it's not full time yet. I'm gonna go part time on my job. I'm gonna get another job part time so I can actually do more on the channel. But we're getting there. We're getting there. One phase 4. I'd like to think phase 5 is where you deliver. So phase 4. We're on phase 4 of the channel. But big up Jez, Northside LDN. And yeah, content every day. And yeah, man, big up to everyone. Lee, everyone, man. Matty, everyone, man. Kenny, good to see you again. Big up to everyone, man. And West Ham, man. All my managers have actually been West Ham fans. So listen, I like West Ham fans, man. I like West Ham fans. Most of the West Ham fans I know, they said if they didn't support West Ham, they would have support Arsenal. So we got, and we equally hate Spurs. So big up to all the West Ham fan and big up to this West Ham fan. You know what I mean? Big up to West Ham.
I like West Ham.
Yeah.
I like West Ham, hate Spurs. That's it. It is Lee doesn't get it, but it is what it is. Lee, man. Lee, as always, mate, thanks for joining the channel. Please shout yourself out. I've got to say, well done, man. Smashed 100k. Fantastic.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Hope you get 100k on the other channel as well.
Well, I've hit 100k about 30 times, mate. So yeah, it's not quite done yet. It's done, but it's not quite done. I need it to go well over 100k. So it's in the bag. It was all in my hands.
Hey, Lee out there being the 93% champion.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? No, big up for having me on. Bless up the panel always and the chat. And yeah, I'm going to go live. I was going to do another bingo game. Yeah, at about 11:15, but seeing as we've had some breaking news about this shit sporting director we've got, I'm going to talk about that instead.
Fair enough.
And then tomorrow I'm going to drop some videos on the Reacts channel. I'm going to talk about Man United signing their player, Xerxes. So yeah, I'm going to get some food and then I'm live again in an hour and a half.
Big up to you, man. Your work rate is unbelievable. Fair play to you, bro. I mean, I've watched you. Did join? No, I was in your chat. I was in your chat when you did one of the Copa America games. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, "What is this, man?"
You know what the hardest bit is, right? Is when the game finishes. Some of them finish at like 5, and I'll stay live till 5:30. Then Matty jumps on and one. I mean, we were still live at 7 my time, weren't we? Yeah, and then I was like, I got in bed at 8:15 in the morning. Slept all day. Yeah, and then got up and done it all over again. So it's like, I'm actually looking forward to having a nice night's sleep, an actual nighttime sleep, not a daytime sleep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my sleep. I'm knackered, mate, honestly. And I've got 2 ear infections. Both my ears are infected as well. So
sorry about that.
Yeah, big up. Lee, I saw your comment on X. I thought the great comment you put on X. Hadn't had much sleep. All the other people in there. And the last paragraph at the end of it, and that. Yeah,
come on, man. Listen, it is what it is. I just work in it.
It's like it's like 2 in the morning, and you were going, and I jumped on your emergency stream thingy, Bobby, and then you sent me the link, and I'm thinking, how is he going on? Northside. I mean, some of the streams you do, I mean, they're brilliant. I have to say, man, they're totally off topic. About long distance relationships. They're brilliant. They were real fun. I loved them. Brilliant. Well done, bro, for that. It's something different. And I think that's brilliant. You guys do that. Ken, I'm coming to you. Great to have you back after what's been a nightmare for you, my friend. Glad to see you back. And I know it's you. Yeah, well, I don't want to go into it, but it's something you never recover from. But big up to you, bro. Thank you for coming back. And
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's mate. Every time, you know, you're a legend to me, and it's got to be the hardest thing in the world. But looking forward to getting you back. I'm going to be doing a quiz in a couple of weeks.
Well, you can count me in. Obviously, I've got to,
you've got to be there. You've got the crown.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, I'm nearly beaten, and that's the thing. But things like this does keep me going. Obviously, I wasn't in the right frame of mind. As I said, the emergency happened to the extent I missed the last game of the season, and football wasn't really in my mind. But did get the bug when I was abroad. When I had to try and sort something out abroad. And the Euros has been a great help. Such the cricket. I know you lot hate cricket, but it's one where the good thing is
getting me into cricket. Right?
No, I'm not going to try. But one thing I would say is that there's a lot of good people out there, and I know 99% of them, and I'm lucky in that respect. I'm never going to be lucky and happy in the way I should be again. But without all you guys and people on the panel, thank you for your messages. And I'm still going to need that pep up for time to time. So keep them coming.
We always will, man. We always will. You know us. We're the best community out there, and we'll always support and give you the love, and to your wife and everything, and your daughter. So of course. Anyway, guys, we're out of here, and thank you guys for joining. It's been a great debate. It's been interesting. I'm going to do the outro, and go and watch every single one of these people because they are the real ones. Nobody better in my book. Nobody better. And okay, we're out. Take care.
I'll take her out.